Hello everyone, welcome to part 5 of our bicycle restoration. As you can see, we will restore all these parts today and give it a good coat of paint. So starting off, we're using a bit gritty sandpaper to remove all the rust. We start off with the seat post. The seat post actually looked quite okay, but when I used the sandpaper, I could see that internally there was a lot of rust. So I give it a good amount of cleaning. Now we'll do it for the crown nut. So this is where the fork sits. For the fork to tighten, we'll use this threading. We'll also do it for the front carrier holder. Even I thought of not doing all these things, but after putting in all the work, I thought this might ruin the look at the end. These are the seat clamp parts. It has around 6 to 7 different parts, and I was very surprised that when I opened it, all seemed to be rusted quite. So I'm giving it a good clean to remove all the rust. So all this effort putting in, hopefully you're enjoying it. Please do like, share and subscribe. It helps the channel grow a lot. I'm just zooming in to see clearly all the parts. Even some of the nuts which stay at the top, I have just cleaned it. This is again the seat clamp. As you can see, it's pretty rusty. All this cleaning took quite a number of time, like around 1 to 2 hours of cleaning. Because they were rusty, I thought I'll do a degreasing as well. So post this, I'll apply some degrease and clean it. As you can see, there is a lot of rust here, so it was important to clean this, each of those grooves. So I folded the sandpaper here and tried to give it a good clean. I'm using a thick grade paper for this, not too thick, but just enough to remove the rust. This may not smoothen the surface, but I thought, okay, these parts are not directly in contact, so it's okay if they come out a bit rough. So there is actually a very thin grade sandpaper as well, which you can use, but it takes a lot of time. Those things, especially for the frame of the bicycle, it makes sense to work on those things, but for just the non-touch parts, I thought okay to stay with this. So I'm doing the railing of the seat as well. So again, we can see that there was good amount of rust there as well. So I'm just ensuring the car edges are cleaned as well. Now I'm just putting it in a box, applying some degreaser. Sometimes the degreaser helps to remove the rust because they usually are used on chains. So I'm just degreasing them anyway to remove any kind of grease or rust there, and I'll just give it a clean wipe. Post this, I'll use isopropyl alcohol to completely dry the surface and clean it. The alcohol is important because if you are planning to paint the surfaces, it's always important that they are very dry. So I'll give all these a good wipe. The total project time was, every day I was spending around 2 hours on this, so it took a good week. Now I'll just do the handlebar lock. So the rest of the handlebar looks quite healthy, so no need to put in effort there. So what I'll do is I'll just sand this area where basically the surface was looking too rusty. So hopefully I'll probably remove the bolt as well, so that I do not miss any surfaces. And so I'm doing any pending surfaces there on the bolt. As you can see, there was a lot of rust came out, and just give it a quick wipe as well. I will do the same for the rear carrier. So these looked actually pretty decent, but it's always good to clean it up, because once I start the sandpaper I could see a little bit of rust showing up there. So I think it was a good decision to prep all these before paint. So I'll show you this. This is a very thin grit, so if you apply a bit of water and do, because the surface was already pretty good, I didn't want to use a thicker grit paper. So I'm using a very thin grit here to roughen the surface so that the paint sticks, giving it a good wipe so that surfaces are dry. I could see that on those edges there was a bit of rust, so we'll ensure we clean that as well. Now coming to the basket, these probably we cannot restore it completely because it has a very thick layer of paint to say, so we cannot have that thickness actually. So what we'll try to do our best to clean and restore it. We'll probably apply 2 coats of paint and lacquer so that the original shine comes back. So I'm doing it inside as well, because if the kid tries to put some items inside, it doesn't have any rough surfaces, so all is painted well. Now I'm using this isopropyl alcohol to dry everything, so no dust particles should be there before we paint. So we'll ensure we clean everything properly with isopropyl alcohol, and just zoom it in, just pouring some liquid to everything and cleaning them thoroughly. So the process may be long, but it will ensure that the paint sticks properly and we get a good result. So stay tuned for the results at the end. But I'm showing the complete process in case anybody is interested. It takes a bit of work, bit of time, but at the end it was all worth it. So stay tuned. So all the surfaces which were clean, I have ensured I use isopropyl. So now it's time for masking. So I'll just ensure that everything which is getting painted gets masked. At least I'm trying to do a decent job of it. And for the handlebar, I'm just trying to cover just those sides, because if there is a bit of spray, the color may look odd. So just want to ensure that it comes at level. So as you can see here, I started the spray. I'm using flash black color, which is a bit shiny compared to the matte finish. So I've even cleaned the crowns, painted the crowns, and the basket is done. I'm just speeding it up because it's just spray, nothing rocket science here. I'm just giving it a good spray from left, right to ensure everything is painted well. And all the individual parts I'm painting on one side first and letting it dry before I apply it to the other side. So I'm using the 7F brand, which seemed to be working well for me from before. So even the railing is done. So time to fast forward time to remove the mask. So we used a normal Steve and Leaf masking paper, so it doesn't allow any paint to go through. So as you can see, so just try to remove them slowly. The paint is already pretty dry, so we'll remove layer by layer. We'll just ensure that any paint on the masking tape doesn't stick to the frame. So as you can see, there's a good finish on this. No paint has seeped in, which is good. So we'll remove the last part. So as you can see, it has got a good shiny finish over there, so I'm happy with that. We look a lot better. So now I just do for the handlebar as well. So I've just put the handlebar in. I've not installed it completely, just put it in where the fork needs to be there, just so that it's easier for me to remove these masking tapes. So same process, remove the masking tape, ensure that it doesn't get stuck anywhere. Remove the other side as well. So you can see that post dry, it has a good shine. So I'm happy about that. There's a lot of difference from how we got it to how we have made it look. So hopefully the kid will enjoy, whoever will use this. Now as you can see, I put in a coat of lacquer as well, so you can see that there is a shine. So 2 coats of paint and 1 coat of lacquer has given us this result. So you can see the shine already. So I'll just remove the masking tape from the seats as well. The painting work is easy. It's just that the initial work which we do is very important. Drying, cleaning. You can see all the seat clamps are looking stunning. Good amount of shine. So this is the result we were expecting. Happy with this. So you can see the shine there. This is the seat post. It fell down, so it's a bit dusty, but here you can see the wheels. I've applied a fresh coat of lacquer, so I've kept it for dry. We'll install the fork today and the handlebar and the seat and the shelf. In the next video we'll complete the whole project. So I'm just putting things back in. So just ensure everything sits properly. It's installed correctly there. So I'll just hand tighten it for now, and seems the hand tightening is good enough, but we'll see how it goes. Now I'll just put handlebar bolt and nut. So now we'll install the handlebar. So just ensure you put this lock nut the correct way around. I'm showing it slowly so that you can, if you are into restoring any of these old pipes, do it correctly. Just don't tighten this too much and just push it in for now. I'm installing the handlebar at a height so that it feels comfortable for now. Just tighten it from the top, hand tighten it for now, tighten it later once it's installed. It's looking already a lot better than we had it before. Now coming to the seat post, I noticed that inside the seat post there was a bit of rust. So I'm just using a tissue and a bottle cleaner just to insert the tissue. Even though it cleaned a bit, I was not happy, so I used a bit of degreaser on the tissue. Next, so as you can see, I put in a degreaser and just put it in. Now I inserted it in, and this actually did a good job. I'm just doing a dry fit of the seat tube to see if everything is okay. Now coming to the front basket, we'll install the front basket now. We'll install the front plate for it. So now the important thing is to do this thing slowly because there is a fresh coat of paint, so it's only dried for a day. So just need to ensure that we don't use any, or at least don't try to leave any marks on the paint. So as you can see, just the coat of paint made a lot of difference to the bike. The frame is not cleaned yet. Don't worry, on the final part 6 probably, I will do all the final assembly and show. I'm just waiting for the wheels to completely dry up. Install these. Now coming to the bottom wire, we'll just actually there was supposed to be screws here, but I think the owner had lost it, or it came originally like this, I'm not sure, but the top nuts are already good enough for this to be held in place. So the bottom is actually a very thick metal wire, so I'm just twisting them around very tight so that they stay in place. And also I'll cut the additional pieces and turn them around so that it doesn't harm the kid by mistakenly put their hand under it. So that was taken care of, and I'm just giving it a decent tight with a nose plier, not using the heavy wrench because I don't want to damage the paint. So all seems okay, sturdy enough, happy with that. Now we'll move to installation of the seat clamp. So if you are confused, just have a look. I haven't speeded this video because in case somebody wants to see this, so just need to ensure the teeth on both the sides meet the teeth of the clamp, and just slide it in slowly from the back, and just ensure you press one place if the railing is widened. So just press it to ensure it goes in, or you can push it back a bit so that it gets locked in place. Once these 3 parts are locked in place, now it's all about installing the outer piece which holds the seat in place and also helps to change the position of the seat to tilt front or the back how we need it. Now just we'll install the side plates. There you go. Now on the other side, you can see the shine there. Some of the paint, it's just 1 coat of paint on this, so it may come off, but we are okay. We just don't want to look it too rusty. At least a simple coat of paint would help. So all seems good. Just install both the nuts and just hand tighten it for now so that it stays in place. We'll just do a mock fit first to see the position of the seat and the tilt. Just giving it a good tight from the hand. Seat post goes in, the smaller end goes in, and it doesn't fall off. So just ensure this is done slowly and correctly. Again, I'm giving it a last clean on the seat post because I was not happy with the previous clean. Now we will install the carrier first, because before we install the seat post, we need to have this done because it's a single bolt and nut for both. So I'll just hand tighten this now, and I'll just place this in place. Now I'll use a wrench to tighten the nut. Giving it a decent tight. Then we'll go to installation of the seats. So yes, as I said before, please do like and subscribe, and wait for part 6 where we do the final polish and reveal. So this is how it looks by the end of today. As you can see, it looks stunning. There are no rust places like we saw before, and with the wheels, shiny wheels on, it will look a lot better. So please like, share, subscribe. Cheers.